Right, it's time to grow some big boy balls and get this roof cut off. So I'm just going to talk you through what I'm going to do and then we'll just get cracked on with it. So as I said previously, I'm not 100% sure how this is going to go. So what I'm going to start with is I'm going to maybe mark a line in about a centimetre all the way around and just put the grinder in and cut that section off and leave the kind of upstandy parts just now. And once we get the full sheet off the top, and then we'll see how this is formed here and how much I can easily cut off. Ideally at this side anyway, well both sides, I want to cut flat here, flat straight in there, so that the carbon just sits on top of this. At the front I'm not too sure if it's easy to take this top lip here off. I'll just take the top lip off and the carbon can then be bonded to the underside panel. And the back's a tricky one. I don't know how this is actually formed at the back, but obviously our carbon's the same shape as this and it goes down, so we can't really have it sitting on top of it because it'll pull the roof back with the thickness of the carbon, like 2 or 3 mil. So this is the bit we're going to kind of work on, so we'll just see how it goes. Time to get the safety equipment, grinder, and I'm going to cover the car, a sheet to cover the car, and we'll just tape off the roof section so that all that lovely carbon is protected.
Like astronauts, we're in the night sky and we won't come down. Make every inch of my body wanna dance with you all night long. Dive in, babe, you know we can't stop this. Come on and show me what you got. 'Cause I don't care if they think we're mad.
Well, first stage done, let's get the sucker off, see what we're left with.
I'll do it again and again and again and again. I don't care, 'cause every moment with you makes me even lighter. I don't care, oh yeah, 'cause every moment with you. I don't care if they think we're mad to be falling in love with you. I'll do it again and again and again and again. You pulling me closer, but don't waste your time. Don't have any time for all your empty lies. I used to think that you were only mine, but I was blind.
Ta-da! Wow! Right. I think that makes that decision that these reinforcements are definitely staying 100%. So they, alright, so this is separate from this piece around here. You see it flexing a little bit, so I could get away with cutting that. And yeah, I can cut this down around here. I'm pretty sure that will be the same here. I should get away with cutting this front lip off as well. So another thing I thought of as well, mentioned just now, is obviously I'm 6 foot. The top of this roll cage, it's when I'm sitting on it, I put the seat on the floor, which isn't on any brackets or anything yet, and I sit in it, and my helmet scuffs this roll cage here. Obviously you can see when the roof goes over, that could move up at least another inch. So before we actually bond the roof on, I'm going to take this to the fabricator and just get him to cut these two sections out. They're just welded in. It's just two bars, and I'm going to get them to cut them out and remake them. There is a new design. I don't know if we'll be able to do it in this because the roof's quite short, where it goes over and back, and that gives you a bit of headroom here. I'll let him make the decision, but yeah, these definitely need to come up a lot more, up to the underside of the roof, give me a bit better head height and more seat position basically, is where I can move the seat up if I need to a little bit. So yeah, it's a good idea to get this done while the roof's off. The roof probably won't be bonded in for a while. I'll have it all fitted and sat in. I just won't actually bond it round about the outside. But yeah, I'll give him easier access to this as well. Right, okay, so I'll just set about cutting these little flanges off and see where that gets us. I don't know how much battery we've got left here, so we'll just see how far we get with it. Alright guys, that is the limit of this battery right now, so I'll go and plug you in, and time I bring you back, it'll be, the roof or the trims will be off, and we'll give you a little walkthrough of it. So, see you in a bit. And here we're back. So, where did we get to? Right, I've cut this back. See if the camera can pick it up. So I've cut this back to this point here, but when you look closely, once you sand this, kind of went through this with a flappy disc, cleaned all the paint off it, it looks as if there's a seam that goes all the way along. It's a bit of a kind of strange shape. Probably easier to see on the other side actually, because I sanded a bit more on that side. Right, so you can kind of see there is a definitive line, albeit it goes in and out, and there's seam sealer in here. So this bit I've cut off, there's still this lip left, so I might end up taking that off. We'll see how the carbon roof fits on top of it. If it fits on top, fine, then there's not much point taking it off. Round the front there, I've cleaned all the kind of window sealant off it, and you can see where that's been spot welded. So that is just one layer. If I was to drill these spot welds off, I could take that off pretty easy, which might happen. Again, we'll see how this roof fits up. These little silicone dots that were there, I was going to take them off with the flappy wheel, but I thought I might leave them on just now, because it might give that kind of cushioning effect to where the carbon roof goes over. It'll sit against them rather than the metal and stop any vibrations. So for the time being, I've left those ones on. Right, so the back piece comes all the way back here, comes all the way down and up and over the roof. So this is all one still part of the top piece of the roof. I'm going to leave it on though, because the carbon roof just came down. I just moulded it to like this point. So what I'm going to do is I'll either get this welded back in or just kind of seam sealer it in. It's a little bit flexible, but I think once the boot hinges are down and bolted into that, that'll stop the flex. So I might put a few bolts in there, seam seal it to keep it sealed away, and then the carbon one I'll just come along and meet up with it, and then we can put a seam sealer along the back of that there. What else? Yeah, I think that was it. I mean, let's go and get the carbon roof. We'll set it on. I took this piece, it came all the way up, all the way around, so I've took all that section off, so we'll see. But yeah, you can really see where the roll cage is pretty low. So yeah, we'll get that sorted. So let's go and get the carbon roof and see how it fits up. Sunniest day of the year today, and I'm stuck inside doing this. Picked a good day for it. Right, you've seen this. This was the V-weave I've done before. I have sanded it. I had some issues with the gel coat. There's little tiny pinholes. I hadn't put the gel coat on thick enough, so I've sanded it and put a coat of resin over it and sanded it again. So it should be ready for the clear coat now. So let's see how we got on here. Didn't want to finish the part until I knew it was going to fit properly. That's good at that side, let's bang on. Holy shit, guys! That is bang on. Yes. see very, there'll be less flex in that than what there is on the metal roof, but yes, once that's resined down, clamped down, perfect. Guys, if you're looking at it. Right, please excuse the kids, they seem to be shouting and screaming in the house for some reason. Right, okay, so I've still got a little bit of trimming to do, so we can trim this little corner off that's kind of flapped up there. To be fair, the mould that I made was never ever supposed to be a full roof replacement mould. It was always just going to be a skinning over the top that I could just cut the centre of the roof out and just put a skin over it. But once we took the first part out, I thought this could actually work. So yeah, I've got a little bit here. I can trim that off, and just this kind of return lip, I can trim that off. But you can see it's sitting down pretty much perfectly. Just a little bit of trimming again, take the excess off around this corner. And yeah, you can see it a little bit over here, it's just up a bit. But it does push around. Yeah, this is going to look so good. Take it around to the other side. The same over here, just need to trim this little return lip on it and trim this corner again, but that all fits in nicely. Over this side, can't remember what the other side was like. When I made the mould, I kind of must have made the flange up a bit, so there's a slight back angle to it. So once we clamp that down, I'll just go along, I'll trim maybe a quarter of an inch off that. I don't even know if I need to, because I think the pillars will cover that. But yeah, you can simply trim this off if I need to. And there's this corner here. That's it down there. Once that's all clamped and bonded in. Perfect. I'm very happy with that. So next step, we'll just get this onto the trestles and get some clear coat on it, make it look banging, and get this all tidied up, all this plastic and the spark dust. Yeah, excellent guys. Right, let's go and get this lacquered. Couple hours later, folks, I couldn't resist it. I just needed to lift it on and see how it looks. Now, I'm no spray painter, as you all know, but it's been sealed, and when the car comes to get fully painted, then this all gets sanded and proper clear coat over all the body panels I've made. But yeah, check it out, it looks beautiful. Really happy with how the V-weave has turned out, and happy with the fitment. As I say, once this fully cures, I'll just trim these little corners and stuff so that when we go to bond it on, it's fitting the way I want it to. Yeah, I don't think I'll need to make another one. I have got more V-fabric coming, so I might just make one more. If it turns out better, then I'll use that one. There is a few little discrepancies in the weave that the camera might pick up. They're just little distortions here or there, but hey, I'm no pro, but I'm doing alright, I think. So I took some weights measurements on the scales there. So let me just see if we can see this. Don't know if the camera will pick up. So basically the metal work that we took off to the roof and these little cuttings in that here came to 7.5 kilograms, and the roof weighed in the carbon roof weighed in at 3.2. So that's what, 4.3 kilos we've saved by doing that, and the roof is way strong. I'll maybe do a little test once it dries, but yeah, it's really strong. So, thanks very much guys, I appreciate you tuning in, and I hope this was an enjoyable video. It certainly was enjoyable to make the roof, and I'm happy how it turned out. Next on the line is, fingers crossed, I've got a diff coming. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to go into the front quarters soon. I don't quite know when, but that's the next carbon thing to be made. Once the front quarters are done, then it's on to the front bumper. So stay tuned guys, and see you next time.